Hello and good evening, and welcome to Broomstick Capital. Broomstick Capital is for institutions, businesses whose business owner and management have embraced the spiritual side. Alright, so now that the frame is set, let's talk about today our BSQ Tuesday, which talks about healing a company whose management has been bruised before and how it can impact your bottom line. So let's take an example. Let's say you acquired a company, you made a business acquisition, and the company that you bought has still a lot of, let's say, emotional and spiritual legacies from previous management who kind of, let's say, mistreated them emotionally or bullied them to get results. How can you deal with it as a new business owner, and how can you make sure that everybody is on board? So obviously the traditional way of looking at this would be to talk about culture and values, which is part of the same angle at which I'm looking at this, through which I'm looking at this. So, for example, if you are dealing with a group of people, which is a team, right? Because you inherited from this team as a new owner of this business. And they have, first there is that mistrust because they don't know you. The deal was made without them being consulted 99% of the time. And second, they have a memory of what happened, and to them, there is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of stress that can be resulted from that new ownership. So first, in order to deal with it, you need to establish what is the default frequency of the institution and what is leading people's motivation in this institution. Is that because they actually come and they don't give a damn about your company and they just want to pay their bills? Are they totally committed to the cause and they get excited because they love the product or the service that you provide through this business? Do they feel let down by the previous owner, or they kind of relieved because finally maybe someone else with a better management skill is going to take them to the next level? Do they fear for their job prospects and their job overall? So you need to be able to find that out by sensing what is dominating as a frequency in this institution, which is now yours. Now, is that possible to heal? Yes. And yes, we can talk about culture and values. Do they share the same value? What is a culture? And how is that relevant to healing? Obviously, it's part of the same. The difference is one is very, let's say, traditional, even though, culture and was just a nice word that was put on an annual report once upon a time, and more people are getting into the real meaning of what culture means, even though very few, but some, and let alone healing. But for those who are obviously a little more open to this, and let's say they have a certain awareness of how energy works, then this is going to speak to you. Right, so now you need to basically have, let's call it a spiritual audit, and gauge what dominates in this company, what is relationship between the employees, between the company with the stakeholders. So stakeholders are employees, suppliers, investors, and clients, obviously. And once you establish what are the key vibrations for each of them, it's about getting the guidance in terms of what to do next. So first you need to do some sort of cleansing and energetic cleansing, and then release whatever heaviness stayed in this company or that they've been carrying from the previous management. And it's something that obviously I do with the people I work with, so that everything that is still affecting everybody's psyche and way of looking at the company can be shifted, so that you have more of a sense of unity whenever you work together as a team. Now, I gave the example of when you acquire a new company, but it can be also someone in management that feels that they need to, let's say new management comes in and you see that employees are still bruised from the past and they're very skeptical, they're very wary, the morale is low, and things are not going very smoothly. They come problem after problem, and you don't know how to deal with this. Again, you need to do energy cleansing and clearing in terms of the energy of the group, but also of the brick and mortar space, like the building, for example. So once you do this healing and this cleansing, you then heighten the frequency and the vibrations, and you then create a new atmosphere, a new vibe, a new frequency for this institution. So this is really fun. This is very unusual, but at the same time not that unusual. Like today, people do hire Feng Shui consultant. If you put that flower in this corner or this there, that means that prosperity will come. So it's more integrated into today's society way of looking at how they can influence energies flowing within a room, a house, and now an institution. So you have Feng Shui consultants in organizations as well. So, Feng Shui is also about energy. So it's not that different, but it's not that unusual. At the same time, let's say people don't talk about it in such a casual manner, Did you do a cleanse today? Maybe we'll talk about the KPI, what is the EBITDA margin and what's the company turnover? Have you talked to HR? So that's the standard way of talking when you talk about a company. But you rarely talk about, what's the vibe of this place? Or I feel there is a lot of tension. So this is how you can look into this in order to really help your organizations to grow at all levels. And once you do this, you're going to then let go of a heaviness that used to burden this place and the people there, and you're going then to take it to the next level in terms of your expansion plans, your revenues, and clients and customers. But if the foundation is yucky with a lot of negativity, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, and a lot of people assume it's part of it, it's part of business. You will have people, no, you don't have to have this. You can shift this. The same way you can say, life is hard, so deal with it. No, it doesn't need to be, but you might have stuff in you that needs to be healed in order to move in a more flowing manner in your life. So the same way is about an institution. And when you apply this way of dealing with the energy of a company and look at what needs to be healed, what needs to be released, what needs to happen to make the vibration of the place, the consciousness of a company stronger, higher, by looking at what needs to be released in terms of energy, then you create a much better homey place and prosperous environment for growth. Now, once you do this, then you're going to feel a difference in within the company itself. As an owner, your relationship with the employees will even shift. So a lot of things will happen on an intangible level, but that you will very quickly feel on a daily basis. So I know that, particularly in the world of companies, people want to measure things, in the world of, a lot of people talk about making an impact, and they talk about social impact investments, right? So I now talk about spiritual impact, and I've been to various seminars and meetings and all of this around impact investments from institutions that are well known and well regarded and well respected. And the big deal there every time is, how do we measure impact? So when you start to get too much into that level of details, you basically lose common sense. So this is something that you're going to see very quickly when it comes to, for example, employee turnover and the morale of the employees. Sick leaves will change because people want to come to work, because they get excited, because they feel good. It's part of what contributes to their sense of well-being. If, however, coming to work for an organization that feels draining, soul-sucking, you're going to see a lot of people feeling sick, unhappy, frustrated, always complaining, coming always with problems, not at all solution driven, stressed out. It's super, super yucky and draining. So which one of those do you want to have? And before even considering measuring things, before even looking into how to measure impact. So I noticed that in these organizations that want to do the right thing and want to do impact investments and this and that, and how do we measure it, they just forget the basic common sense. So once you set a nurturing environment, vibration, energies into an institution, people will thrive, they will grow, they will get excited, they will rave about the company they work for. And that is what you want for your company. And if you have issues with it, obviously you can contact me and we can have a chat, and I will tune in energetically and look at what's happening in your company. And there will be also guidance on how to take strategic steps as well. But before you go into the 5-year plan, 10-year plan, and look at all of these things and measure KPI day after day, you need to make sure that you are evolving in a healthy and supportive energy in your company, in your institutions. And that is the first step to create something that is so powerful that your institutions is like a sun shining, because it's so vibrant, it's so energetic, it's so breathtaking, because people thrive. So you want your company to be such of a high vibrations, like people say, it's a vibe. So how would it feel to go in a place or to be the owner of an institution that people love just interacting with, being connected with, working for, that people actually fighting to work for your company and your institutions, because there is something special, something magical about your institution. So if this is something that you kind of figure you would like, or actually you really, really, really want, but you don't know how, you have some sort of shallow vision, but you don't know how to, and you get caught in the daily operation, well, I can help you with that, because what I do, I look at what needs to shift first within your institution, and I unlock what is blocked so that you can thrive, expand, and have a team that is going to really take care of the business without playing, without feeling like you're in a kindergarten. Because what I am observing and seeing is oftentimes companies who feel like, soul sucking for an owner is because the team feels heavy to carry, because there is that sense of the owner has that sense that they can't really let go, because they don't trust that things are going to go well. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done when it's the case. And if you want to take your company to the next level, so follow these steps. So watch this video again, take notes if you need to. And if you need guidance and help, obviously you can send me a message and we can take it from there. Okay, so to answer the question, can you heal a company that's been bruised by management? Totally, yes. And how is that going to impact your bottom line? I mean, come on. We talked about that through all this video. So I know now that you know that a company that is thriving, expanding, vibrating at a high frequency, and feels nurtured is going to totally feel committed to expand the company even more, because that's something that resonate with, and the growth of the company is part of their own growth. So if this is what you want for your company, well, you can message me and then we'll talk. All right. So on that note, I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of the day, and I will talk to you in my next video for the BSQ Tuesday. And on that note, I'm going to wish you happy manifesting. And don't forget, it's about bringing magic into business. Bye. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, share, like, and put a comment under the video. Bye and happy manifesting.